ध्यायामो धवलावगुण्ठनवतीं तेजोमयीं नैष्ठिकीं स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवतीं मन्दस्मितश्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिक्तसूक्तिम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम् ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। ॐ अमृतेश्वर्यै नमः। Amriteshwarye Namaha. Today we'll continue with the discussion of Tattva Bodha. We began with the discussion of the three bodies the last time when we discussed Tattva Bodha. We started with the gross body. The question was, what is gross body? The answer was, gross body was something that was grossified, established in the five elements, constituted of the five fundamental elements, something that is acquired through the good deeds of the past, one that is the one that experiences the good and the bad, the pleasant and the unpleasant experiences, one that receives or one that is the receiver of, or one that actually experiences the good and the bad, and one that goes through the six changes or six modifications, namely existence, birth, growth, transformation, decay, and finally perishing. So that was what we discussed about gross body. Then we went on to subtle body. Subtle body, we discussed that it is, though it is made out of the five fundamental elements, it is not grossified, it is not established, it is apanchikata. It is obtained through the result of, or as a result of, good deeds from the past. It is the means through which the good and the bad experiences are experienced by the gross body. And then it consists of the 17 components, the 5 jnanendriyas, the organs of perception, the 5 karmendriyas, the organs of action, the 5 pranas, the 5 subtle vital forces within the body, and then the 15 of them, 555, the mind and the intellect. That's what makes it 17 components. That's what the subtle body is made out of. And then we went through each of the terms, and then each of the 5 elements we discussed what the jnanendriyas are, the organs of perception. We discussed what karmendriyas are, the organs of action. And then we discussed, as stated in the text, discuss what are the presiding deity over each of these organs, what is the function of these organs, and that's where we ended the last session. So what we are left with finally is the 5 pranas, the pancha pranadaya, right? The term what I think what is sukshma sharira. Up. So pancha jnanendriyani, pancha karmendriyani, then pancha pranadaya. So what are the 5 pranas? Pranas are the vital forces that help the body function. The 5 pranas are, they call prana, apana, vyana, udana, samana. So the vital forces, though we do a lot of things with our with being conscious about it. There are so many things that happen within our body which we aren't conscious of, which happen on their own, right from our heartbeat to the blood circulating to the each and every organ functioning. Each one of them, there's a force that makes it happen. There's a force that makes the heart function, the liver function, the stomach function, the intestines function, every part of our body, every organ of our body. There's a vital force that acts behind its functioning. These are what we refer to as the pranas, and they are categorized as 5. Pancha prana, the 5 pranas. And they are, as I mentioned, named as prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. So it's a practice when we consume food or when we make a food offering to a deity. We offer the food telling pranaya swaha. Let it be in form of these 5 vital forces. That's why you would, in case you have seen me do food offering, or you've seen anyone who does puja, make food offering, you see them do it 5 times with some gestures with their fingers. It's we chant along with that is pranaya swaha. We offer it in form of prana, in form of apana, vyana, udana, and samana. So prana, all these 5 together are known as prana, though it's prana and 4 others, but together they are known as prana, the vital forces. Actual prana is the vital force that acts between the throat down to the chest. All the organs are supported or vitalized by the energy, the vital energy called prana. That's why we say pranayama. Pranayama basically is bringing all these vital forces within our body. Ayama, pranayama is basically bringing it in tandem, bringing it in a regular, to regulate this whole process, to regulate the pranas, the 5 pranas. And the best way we could do it is making our breath in a controlled way. Through that, we control the prana, which is from the throat down to the chest. And there's a staggering effect which helps others, it helps regulate other 4 pranas in our body. That's why we call it pranayama. Pranayama is not just breathing process, it's basically bringing the whole body to a regulated mode, to a more controlled or more calm or a more composed state. So prana is the vital force between the throat and the chest. Prana. Apana is the vital force that helps the organs in our body beneath our hip, beneath our waist function well, the excretion, reproduction, procreation, etc. The vital forces that help these parts of our body or organs of our body function well. So prana, apana, vyana is the vital force that is pervasive in our body, which helps those systems which are again pervasive in our body, like this nervous system, the circulatory system, things like that. One that is pervasive all over our body. So prana, apana, vyana. Udana is the vital force which is throat and above. Prana was throat and below, throat and above. So that helps with the brain, the way we think, the thoughts, the thought processing, the way we react, the way we speak, the way we express things. All that is controlled by udana, and samana is from the chest down to the waist. So that helps with digestion, assimilation, etc. It helps the whole gastroenterology system function. It's the vital force behind the organs beneath the chest, above the hip. So prana, apana, vyana, udana, and samana. So this definitely is quite established in the body parts that we have the organs that we have in our body. So they are composed of the 5 fundamental elements, but they are not established, they are not grossified. The term that we discussed, grossification, the last time when we discussed, they are not grossified, or they have not gone through the process of grossification. So those are the 5 pranas. And then the 5 pranas, then we have the buddhi and the mana, the intellect and the mind. The intellect and the mind, there is much a detailed description of that later in the text, so we'll discuss it then. For now, we'll keep it at it. So the subtle body is composed, or it is made up of the 5 fundamental elements. But is not grossified. It doesn't go through the process of grossification. It is obtained through satkarma, through good deeds from the past, and then it consists of the 7. It is the means through which experiences are experienced by the gross body, and then it consists of the 17 constituents, or the 17 components: 5 jnanendriyas, 5 karmendriyas, actions of organs of perception, organs of action, the 5 pranas, the 5 vital energy, the vital forces in our body, and then buddhi, mana, the mind and the intellect. Mind is basically comprised of thoughts, and buddhi is the ability that we have to process thoughts, our intellect. We'll discuss about the mind and intellect much in detail eventually when we come across those terms in the text in Tattva Bodha. So moving on to the next part, the next question is, what is the causal body then? So we discussed about the gross body, we discussed about subtle body. So the next question is, we have to go all the way down now. Karana Sharira. So that's what is the causal body. Karana Sharira. So Karana Shariram Kim is the question. Karana Shariram Kim. Shariram, body. Karana, one that causes. So causal body. Kim, what? So what is Karana Shariram? So let's just try to pronounce it, going with our tradition. Karana. The N is capital, so you twist your tongue up. Na. Karana. Shariram. The second I is capital, so it is long. The first I is short. So first I is just E. Second I is E. Shariram. Sorry, there is only one I. Sorry. First A is short, so it is not Sha. It is Sh. Shariram. Shariram. Karana Shariram. Karana Kim. What is the causal body? The response is Anirvachya. Anirvachya. I'll just read it out first and then let's pronounce it. So Anirvachya Anadi Avidyarupam Sharira Dvayasya Karanamatram Satswarupa Ajnanam Nirvikalparupam Yadasti Tat Karana Shariram. So, like we discussed in the previous 2 bodies, the last one is more or less the same. There it was Tat Sthula Shariram, Tat Sukshma Shariram. Here, Tat Karana Shariram. Tat means that, Karana Shariram, causal body. That is causal body. What is causal body is what is explained in the previous terms. So, first one is Anirvachya Anadi Avidyarupam Sharira Dvayasya Karanamatram. So that is 5th. Satswarupa Ajnanam 7th. Nirvikalparupam 8th. So there are 8 properties or 8 descriptions given to causal body, Karana Shariram. So let's try to first pronounce them. Anirvachya. Anirvachya. So I would say there should be Anirvachya. Chya. It's not cha. Yeah. Anirvachya. Anirvachya. Anadi. Anadi. Avidya Rupam. Avidya Rupam. Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam. Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. Shariradvayasya Karanamatram. Shariradvayasya Karanamatram. Sat Swarupa Ajnanam. Nirvikalpa Rupam. Yad asti tat karana sharira. So anirvachya, vachya, something that can be put in words, something that can be expressed in words. Anirvachya, something that is inexplicable, something that cannot be expressed in words. Anirvachya. Anadi. Adi translates to something that is the first, the very beginning, the very initial. Anadi negates the meaning. Anadi, one that whose beginning is unknown. Anadi, one whose beginning is unknown. So Anirvachya, Anadi. Avidya. Vidya, we have come across this term a lot. Vidya, knowledge, wisdom, to know. Avidya negates the meaning. Avidya, ignorance. Avidya Rupam. Rupam, again a term that we have come across a lot. Rupam, form, embodiment. Avidya Rupam, it's a form of ignorance. Sharira Dvayasya Karanamatram is one description. Sharira, we have come across the term now a lot. Sharira, the body. Dvayasya, Dva translates to two. So Sharira Dvayasya, Sya in the end, you can just understand it as Sya, that the sound Sya or the term Sya or the syllable Sya basically says of. Of what? The two bodies. Dva Sharira. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. Karana, cause. Matram. Karana Matram, the cause. The one that creates one that causes something. So what is it? The causal body is the cause of the two other bodies. What are those? The gross and the subtle body. So the causal body causes the gross and the subtle body. Sat Swarupa. Sat, the ultimate truth. Swarupa, the embodiment of ultimate truth, the form of the ultimate truth. Ajnanam. Jnana, knowledge. Ajnana, ignorance. One that is ignorant of the ultimate truth. Nirvikalpa Rupam. Nirvikalpa, vikalpa, to differentiate, to delineate, to find distinction. Nirvikalpa, you cannot find distinction. You cannot differentiate. One that cannot be differentiated or broken down further. So Nirvikalpa Rupam, one, the body or the embodiment that cannot be split anymore, cannot be broken down anymore. Yadasti, that which is. Tat, that is Karana Shariram. That is the causal body. So the causal bodies, before we get to the Anirvachya, let's go with Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. So the causal body is more, we could just in very simple terms, you can understand it as a template from which the subtle and the gross body is derived. So the causal body is more like a template. It is the template into which, which is instantiated, and the the subtle and the gross body come into existence. So it is the Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram. It is Anirvachya, and there's another term that we could relate to this is Nirvikalpa Rupam. The last one, Nirvikalpa Rupam. Nirvikalpa, we cannot differentiate. We cannot find any difference. So a good analogy for this would be a seed versus the plant or the tree. Within the seed, it's just a seed, it's just one unit. A seed is a seed. It's not a tree, it's nothing. It's not the fruit, it's not the leaf. You cannot, but it has the potential for all these within it. When you sow it, when it grows, leaves come out of it. Of course, it's not just from the seed, it's the seed along with the minerals that it draws from the soil, etc. But the seed has the potential of a leaf, of a branch, of a fruit, of whatever else, a thorn, whatever you can think of. But within the seed, you cannot differentiate between, oh, this is the leaf, this is the branch, this is the fruit. You cannot do it. The seed is just a seed. It's just one simple encapsulation. It's just one unit. But when it grows into Karana and Sukshma. There you can make a difference between, oh, this is leaf, this is fruit, this is green in color, this is red in color, this is orange in color, this is brown in color, etc. So, Nirvikalpa Rupam, one, where there exists no differentiation, no delineation, no discrimination. Everything is encapsulated as one. And then when it goes into gross body, when it establishes into gross and subtle body, then you can start differentiating. And those bodies, they are Savikalpa. Savikalpa, that which can be differentiated, that which can be broken down into smaller units. So we just looked into Sharira Dvayasya Karana Matram and Nirvikalpa Rupa. The first term, Anirvachya, Anadi, Avidya Rupam. They actually are quite synonymous with when we discussed about the supreme truth, Brahman. The supreme. Again, we have discussed that in the chapter 15th of Bhagavad Gita. We have discussed that a little bit in Guru Gita. We have definitely discussed that in Bhaja Govindam. We have discussed that in Lalita Sahasranama, how the ultimate supreme truth, the divine, cannot be expressed in words. It's very difficult to put or place or bring the supreme under one little framework that we can explain or express through words or by any other means. So it's quite similar to that when we listen to that. But they say it is different from the supreme. It's different from the self. Why? Because though it is Anirvachya, though it is Anirvachya Anadi, has no beginning. It says there is no beginning to this, which is again a property that we aspect with the supreme. But then the two terms that differentiate this from the supreme is Avidya Rupam, form of ignorance, Sat Swarupa Ajnanam, that which is ignorant from the ultimate truth. There is a tinge of ignorance that is associated with the causal body. It's not the supremacy, the self that we have within is beyond even this. Because that's how this discussion came, right? We were discussing about Atma 3 or 4 sessions ago. And Atma said it is beyond the 3 bodies, right? That's how we discussed, that's how we came to what are the 3 bodies. You remember? Yes? We discussed about Atma, right? Atma kaha, and then it said Atma is something that is always a witness of the 3 states, is the Satchidananda Rupa, is the embodiment of consciousness. It's beyond the 3 bodies. It is, etc. We discussed all that. So Atma is even beyond the causal body. Causal body is just the very end or the very fine line between the physical existence and the supreme and the self, the all-potential self that we have within us. So causal body is not the self. It is still associated with the physical existence, but it's a fine delineation between that. So my understanding or my thinking of the causal body is, I'm from a computer science background. In programming, we learn about object-oriented programming. Object-oriented programming is, you write computer program for all these various systems that we work on. Airplane, library system, anything that we go, a billing system in Starbucks, anything that we deal with, it's computerized, right? So the computer programmers are taught that everything that you deal with, a person, a car, a thing, an airplane, an object, everything is an object. So you should define what an object will be like. These are the things, these are the properties of an object though. So if you're thinking of a person as an object, the person will have name, will have height, will have weight, will have relationships, will have all. So you define all that. And then what can the person do? The person can talk, the person can eat, the person can grow. You define all the various functions that the person can perform. That we call it as class in object-oriented programming. So the class has no existence of its own. You just say a person can have height, weight, name, but there is no name, there is no height, nothing, right? You're just telling that a person can have all this, right? But when you actually have a person and create a record for a person, which is called an object, when you create a record, then what happens? Name will have a value. Name will be Ramanand. Height will have a value. Height is 6 feet. Weight will have a value. I don't want to reveal my weight publicly. Weight will have a value. Relationship, all the various, I belong to this country, I stay in this city, I studied in this university, I went to this school, all those are relationships. You fill into those properties that we defined. And then there are functions. I can eat, sings, he talks, he sleeps, makes friends, or makes a phone call. All these are different functions that you can define. So the moment you define Ramanand, the class is the template that we have comes into existence, right? Until then, the template doesn't have any existence. You understand the idea I give, right? So the causal body is more like that template. It has all the properties for bringing an object into being, but by itself, it has no life. It has nothing. It has no beginning. There is no beginning to person. Person is just person. But when you start giving it a name, etc., then a beginning starts to the person who you are defining through that template. So if you've learned object-oriented programming, I think you'll have a little edge on understanding the example that I'm giving. So it's between the templates. The causal body is like the template. So within the template, you cannot differentiate. This is the name. There's no nothing. There's no information there. So you cannot differentiate. Only once the person is instantiated can you actually say, that is his nose, that is his eye, so that this is his weight, this is his height, this is etc. So where were we? So we're discussing about the causal body being the template, and the gross and the subtle body being the instantiated form of that template. So avidya is referring to, in causal body, we don't even have we just discussed what are the properties of the subtle body, the 5 properties, then the brain, the intellect and the mind. So intellect and mind are part of the subtle body. They are not part of the causal body. So in causal body, the brain even doesn't exist in that state. So there is no perceiving, there's no perception that, this is what this is. There is time, there is a beginning to it, there is no perception to it. That's why it's called avidya rupam. There is no perception, there is no knowing the supreme here. There is just no existence of brain or any kind of perception here, because all the organs of perception, the sense organs are all in gross and subtle body level. So so in the Viveka Chudamani, there is another text. There's a term, there's a verse, or there's a line that goes as Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. Brahman refers to the Supreme. Satyam, that is the supreme truth. Jagat, the creation, is mithya, is delusion, is an illusion. So The Supreme is the only truth, everything else is illusion. We have discussed that. What is an illusion? Anything that changes, that doesn't permanently remain, is illusion. That which permanently remains is the Supreme truth. So even the causal body can change. I can have a name today, tomorrow I can add one more property to it. It is again mithya. It is not one with the Supreme, which is beyond any and every property. So I just wanted to highlight that point. Though it seems these descriptions, some of the descriptions seem like what we would describe the Brahman, the Supreme, as, it is still much different from that, because the sense of ignorance, the sense of lack of perception is existent there. So that's why it's called avidya rupam. Though it is like the Brahman, has no physical properties, still it is a form of ignorance. It's not ultimately there. So we discussed that the Atma, when we discussed about Atma, we discussed that Atma is beyond gross, subtle, and the causal body. Atma is beyond all these three. So I hope we have some idea about what Sthula Shariram, gross body, Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body, and Karana Shariram, the causal body, are. So just to summarize quickly, Sthula Shariram is the physical body or the gross body, including the physical organs of perceptions, the physical organs of our body, composed of the Pancha Bhutas, the 5 basic elements, air, space, water, earth, and goes through the process of grossification, is gained through good deeds of the past, is a tenement of experience of pleasure and pain, good and bad. And then it is subject to the 5 modifications: birth, existence, growth, aging, decay, and death. Sukshma Shariram, to summarize, Sukshma Sharira is subtle body, or otherwise some refer to it as the astral body. It controls all the physiological functions and the powers of the organ of perception, action, mind, and intellect. It's composed of the 5 basic elements, but doesn't go through the process of grossification, is gained by good deeds. And we discussed what the 5 jnanendriyas, karmendriyas, the 5 pranas are. So we discussed that. Then Karana Shariram, the causal body, is the cause of the other 2 bodies, is not describable. It indicates a state of ignorance, since the mind and the intellect are absent, and it is neither existing in all the periods of time. So the beginning is unknown here. The causal body influences the deep sleep state. We'll discuss that a little later when we discuss about the 3 states. That's what we're going to discuss next. Ignorance of the true nature of the self results in misconception and incorrect identification of the gross and the subtle body. So there is a very clear description of ignorance is given here, associated with the causal body, so that we don't misunderstand that with Brahman, the supreme truth, the Atma, the self. Is that okay? So then we move on to, we step back a little bit. Yes?
Understand Karana and Atma.
So again, going back to computer science thing, Karana Shariram is a template. Pardon?
Can you repeat the question?
She was telling she's not very clear about the difference between Atma and the Karana Shariram. So let's go with the sequence. Say we have Atma. It makes a little more sense once we discuss the 5 stealths and the 3 states of existence. But anyway, just answering your questions again quickly, we have the very core program, a computer program that runs in the computer, is beyond any of these properties that you can define. Program is a program that makes the computer or a system function. The program cannot be said wherein, or could not be referred to as, or say in a billing system that you have in Starbucks. You cannot say, oh, the bill that is coming out is this program. You cannot say, oh, the numbers that we see in the screen is the program. The button is not the program. The machine is not the program. The sound that it creates is not the program. Program is something that makes all these happen. Program is program which is beyond any of these properties that we can identify it with. But with each and every of these things to function, we write a program, we define templates. So this is one item, this is another item, this is another item. Each of those templates, though the templates don't have an existence, they are still defined with a physical aspect associated with it. Like I said, a person, we define a person will have a name, a person will have age, the person will have functions, will have other properties. But it does not have an existence. Atma is even beyond that. Atma is beyond names, is beyond height, beyond weight, beyond any functions. And so that's the very core catalyst of the whole process, though it is beyond any of these properties. No? Anyway, I think when we discuss the three states and the pancha koshas, I feel it will bring in better clarity. So, one simple way of putting it is, Sthula Shariram is still associated with the Shariram. Atma has no association with the Shariram.
Karana Shariram and
Karana Shariram. Karana Shariram is still associated with the Shariram. It has properties which we define the Karana Shariram with. But Atma is beyond that.
So if we go from this body to another body, would that change? But it says
It says?
Which is inexplicable without any beginning of the form.
That's exactly. It is inexplicable without beginning. It is inexplicable without beginning. But at the same time, it is a form of ignorance, which is not true with Atma. There is no ignorance associated with Atma. Sat Swarupa Ajnana, that is also not existent with the Atma. So that very initially I mentioned that is what delineates it from the Atma. Atma is Sat Swarupam itself. Atma is Jnana Swarupam, Purna Jnana Swarupam. Whereas the factor of ignorance is what differentiates it from the self.
So will this change when we go from one body to the other?
Will what change?
Karana Shariram.
Karana Shariram, I feel I'm not very ignorant about the whole process. Once I die, I'll let you know. I'll give you an email, I'll send it to you from my next birth. But, yes?
I had a different question. So during meditation, once your mind, Amma always says now that the mind waves will stop. The mind becomes very silent and the intellect also becomes very silent. Are you trying to, is that more applicable to Karana Sharira then? Are we achieving that kind of state when, all your mind vibrations really stop?
My understanding of Karana Sharira is, it's definitely beyond the Sharira. When you say Sharira, we always refer to the physical body with every organ and all that. I feel Karana Sharira is definitely a little beyond that. It's more like a template that creates the physical body's existence. So it's definitely beyond that. That's why they say it's not explicable. But when you try to be in state of meditation, you try to reach a state wherein you don't associate yourself with your physical existence. I think you're going more towards Atma itself, but at some point of time you have to transcend through Karana Sharira. Yes. Because the same thing happens when we explain it with the 5 stealths, the 5 kosha. You go from the outermost physical kosha to the innermost, the stealth of bliss. So you have to go through these 4 and go beyond. So coming back to that, where we? I was answering something.
Karana Shariram changes.
In birth, yeah. I'm not very sure about that. I'll definitely let you know. But my understanding is there's definitely some vasanas that we carry on to the next birth. And I'm sure those play a role in the creation of the physical body. Because we see that based on our past experiences, we do have abilities or disabilities in our physical body. So I'm sure there is many of these vasanas that are carried from one birth to the next birth. So in terms of Karana Shariram, I'll have to think about it and get back to you rather than just speaking something out without thinking much.
One more question. I remember once Amma said, once we pass away, Atma will go as a balloon and it'll still stay as a balloon. So do you think this could be?
But then you're talking about Atma, right? You're not talking about Sharira. You're talking about Atma.
This is Sharira.
Yeah, all these three are just Sharira.
Well, for this body. But
For this body, yes.
All
They are the three Shariram, the three levels of the existence of this body. Then we are talking about Atma that goes on to this thing. But some of the vasanas that we carry along, some believe that it's something to do with causal body, which causes the next birth's body to be in a particular way. The thoughts, the way you behave, the way you see, the way you look, the way your physical composure is. So it's more like the signature, the template for your next birth. But again, I don't want to very authoritatively state that until I think about it a little more. So the Atma is what that transcends to the next thing. So Amma says Atma, it's not the Shariram that goes, the next state, next birth. Okay? Okay, so just stepping back to how we came to this, we discussed about Atma, like I told you many weeks ago now, and we discussed on what Atma is, and we discussed that Atma is Atma Kaha was the question, and we discussed it is Sthula Sukshma Karana Shariradi Vyatiriktaha, one that is distinct from Sthula, gross, Sukshma, subtle, and Karana Sharira, one that is very distinct from the three bodies. Panchakoshatitaha, one that is beyond the 5 layers, the 5 layers of body, 5 layers of our physical existence that we have. San Avasthatraya Sakshi, that which is a witness to all the 3 states, awake, dream, and deep sleep state. It remains only a witness to all these 3 states, doesn't get involved in these 3 states. It's Satchidananda Swarupaha, which one that is embodiment of Supreme Truth, Supreme Consciousness, and the Supreme Bliss. Sanyat Tishtati Sa Atma. So Atma is that. So with this is when we came into what is Sthula, Sukshma, and Karana Sharira. The next is Panchakosha that we have to discuss, and then Avasthatraya, the 3 avasthas, the 3 states. So that is what we are going to discuss next. Right? That's how we have been doing it in Tattva Bodha. Every term that we encounter, and the question is asked, what is that term? Then we expand on that. Every new term that comes, the question is, what is that term? What is that term? That's how we go. So the hierarchy spreads, widens, and then we are dealing with each of these sub-hierarchies. So we are now going to discuss Panchakosha, that term, and Avasthatraya, the 3 states. That's what we're going to discuss. I'm just giving you a recap. So the next question is, Karana Shariram Kim is over. So what is the next question? So the next question is Avasthatrayam Kim. Avasthatrayam Kim. So let's pronounce that. Avastha. TH. So Tha. Avastha. Trayam. Kim. Avastha translates to states. Trayam, the number 3. Kim, what? So what are the 3 states of existence? The question. The response is Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Avasthaha. So let's try to pronounce them. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Sushupti. Avastha. Avastha. So Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, Avastha. Jagrat is Swapna, Sushupti, Avastha. Jagrat is state of being awake. Swapna is the state of being in dream, the dream state. Sushupti, the deep sleep state. These are the three states, is the response. Now, we have three more terms, Jagrat, Swapna and Sushupti. Naturally, the question is, what is Jagrat, what is Swapna, what is Sushupti? And that's what we are going to deal with now. So the next question is, Jagrat Avastha Ka. Jagrat Avastha Ka. Let's try to pronounce it. Jagrat. 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 Avastha. Avastha. Ka. Jagrat Avastha Ka. Jagrat Avastha Ka. So Jagrat Avastha, the state of being awake. Ka. What is it? So the response is Shrotradi Jnanendriyaihi Shabdadi Vishayascha Jnayate iti Yat Sa Jagrata Avastha. So let's try to go through the terms one by one. Shrotra, Shrotra, Adi. So put together would be Shrotradi, Shrotradi, Jnanendriyaihi, 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 Shabdadi, Shabdadi, Vishayascha. So the first S is small sh, the second one is capital SH. So the first small s, you keep your tongue straight, flat, sha. The second capital S is you twist your tongue and sha. So the first one is capital S, Vishayascha. The first one you twist your tongue up, Vishaya and cha. Vishayascha. 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 Jnayate. 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 Iti. Yat. Sa. Jagrat Avastha. Jagrat Avastha. So the response is Shrotradi. Shrotradi. Shrotra, we discussed the term Shrotra. What is Shrotra? Ears, right? Adi, etc. The ears, etc. The ears, etc. Jnanendriyaihi. So the ears and the four others, ears, nose, mouth, skin, and eyes, are the Jnanendriyas, are the organs of perception. So ears, etc., the organs of perception, or ears like the organs of perception. Shabdadi Vishayascha. So Vishaya, objects of experience. So objects of experiences like Shabda Adi. Shabda, sound, etc. Adi, etc. So what are the objects of experiences that we discussed? Sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Gandha, Rasa are the 5 experiences, forms of experiences that we have. So through the 5 organs of perceptions, we experiences the 5 objects of experience. So Shrotradi Jnanendriyaihi Shabdadi Vishayascha Jnayate. Jnayate, to know, to experience, to know. Iti, likewise, yat, that which. Sa, that is Jagrat Avastha. So what is state of being awake? State of being awake is where where the sense objects, the sound, etc., are perceived by the sense organs, that state is Jagrat Avastha, where all your sense organs are functional, or as many of your sense organs are functional, they are functional, or those that you have, they are functional, and through these sense organs, you experience the 5 objects of experience: sound, taste, touch, sight, form, and smell. So the 5 objects of experience. So when this happens, you are awake. So it's very simple, straightforward answer. When are you awake? When am I awake? When all my sense organs are functional and they sense all these 5 objects of experience. I don't think I have to explain much more. The next question is, Swapnavastha Keti Chet. Right? Swapnavastha Keti Chet. So Swapna. Yeah.
One little portion that you left.
Oh yeah, it talks about the 3 shariras. Yeah, that's what I said. It will help. So there's one more line, right? Sthula sharirabhimani atma vishwa ityuchyate. So let's pronounce it. Sthula sharira abhimani. Put together would be Sthula sharirabhimani. Sthula sharirabhimani Atma Vishwa Ityuchyate. So it is iti and uchyate. Put together would become ityuchyate. So sthula sharira, the gross body, abhimani, one that is associated with atma. So the self, or the subset of ourself that is associated with the gross body, in state of being awake, we are more associated with the gross body, because everything is through our physical sense organs, physical ability to perceive, and everything that happens around us affects the way we are. Suddenly it becomes dark, it can bring in fear. It becomes a big sound comes, it can give us a headache. Our mood can change. Something that we like happens in front of us, that can change the way we are, change the way we react to the given situation. Something suddenly comes and touches, we feel it's a spider, we shriek, and our state changes. Fear fills in, or whatever, anxiety fills in. So it's sthula sharira. So sthula sharira abhimani, atma, the self or the subset of the self that associates with the gross body, iti uchyate, is called likewise. It's called what? Vishwa. It's called Vishwa. So the subset of the self that associates with the gross physical body is called Vishwa. Again, I think this statement just puts forth, when we talk about state of being awake, we are more associated with our physical existence, the physical things around us. And that subset of the Atma, or that aspect of our self, is called Vishwa. The term given to it is called Vishwa. Is that okay? So, Sthula Sharira Abhimani Atma Vishwa iti uchyate. It's called Vishwa. So for Sukshma Sharira, there is another term. For Karana Sharira, there is another term. So when we talk about being awake, we are more associated, the Atma or the subset of the Atma is more associated with the gross body, the physical gross existence. I see that it's already 8:27. Should we stop here with this? Because I don't think we can finish dream state, all 3 of them. So I think we'll stop here and continue with the Swapnavastha and Sushupti Avastha in the next session that we have. So, because we have 3 minutes, let's quickly recap. We discussed the 3 states, the 3 bodies. 2 of them we discussed last time. The second one, half of it, a little part of it we discussed today. The 5 pranas associated with the subtle body. And then we moved on to what is Karana Sharira. Karana Sharira is more like the causal body. It does not have a physical existence per se. It's just a template with the physical existence. But it could be very well misunderstood with the Supreme because many of the properties are same as that, because it's not really physical in nature. But what delineates it from the physical, from the Supreme, is the sense of Ajnana, the sense of being more associated with the physical creation. So Ajnana, Satswarupa Ajnanam, and Avidyarupa. The embodiment, it's compared to the Supreme, it's an embodiment of ignorance. So that's what delineates it from the Supreme. Then we moved on to discuss what are the 3 states of existence. So we just discussed we discussed the 3 states of existence as awake, Jagrat, Swapna, dream, Sushupti, the deep sleep state. We just discussed the Jagrat state alone, the state of being awake, wherein we are very well associated with the physical existence, the physical creation around us through our sense organs and the objects that we experience through these sense organs. And the subset of the Atma that associates with the gross physical body is called Vishwa. Right? That's all what we discussed today. Any questions? Okay. So we'll conclude praying for world peace. Let's pray to the Almighty that every being in the creation be happy, content, and peaceful. Let's chant the Shanti Mantra together. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Hari Om.